wait for some more people to join, and then we will start.
Sure.
Well, good evening, Amplify book Club members, and a warm welcome for today's evening program. Books and reading habits go together. A book is a very good friend, and reading habit makes you one of the best person, one of the knowledgeable person. I do remember that books, when you make it as one of your best friends, the book does not expect anything from you, but it gives ample of knowledge what it has. And your reading habits generates more interest to learn more and to become more knowledgeable. That is the advantage of a book club, books, and having like-minded people together and work and spending some time gives us more knowledge, and we can share the views. And we will also come to know which book we study and how good it is, and it will generate a lot of interest in us to start reading more books. Without doing anything more, I would like to invite the attendees here to please switch on your video and audio and introduce yourself. So may I request Shivani ji to just please share about something about you. Mr. Satish, very good evening. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Good evening. Thank you, Chandar. Thanks, everybody. I am Satish. I am from Bangalore. So I engage myself as a trainer and mentor for manufacturing companies.
And information for everybody, Mr. P.S. Satish is also one of my mentors. And he is also an author for 3 books and a very, very, very knowledgeable person. Thank you and welcome, Mr. Satish, for this program.
Thank you.
May I invite Kalpana ji to please come on video and share about yourself?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. This is Kalpana Azgaonkar from Mumbai. I'm a graphologist, that is handwriting analyst and a counselor. I'm also a certified IITD trainer from Mumbai. And thank you so much for inviting me. And wish you all the best, Narendra Naik ji. I know you will rock as usual. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kalpana ji. बहुत दिन हो गया था आपसे मिलके. And this is the forum that we are meeting again.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
May I request Kamlesh Pandey ji to introduce himself? Kamlesh ji.
Yeah. Good evening.
Can you put on your video, sir?
Video actually.
It's okay. Please introduce.
Yeah, I'm also certified IITD trainer, and I'm into interpersonal relationship trainer actually, and I am based in Mumbai.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
So, sir, can I introduce myself because I will be driving soon? So
yeah, please, Sarjit ji. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for volunteering. Please
My pleasure,
introduce
sir.
yourself.
My name is Harjeet Singh Bamra. I am from Bombay, and I am also part of this organization, definitely. And I'm also NLP trainer and also memory trainer as well. There are many more things. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and a warm welcome. Abhi, we will request Rajesh Raoji to introduce himself.
Hello.
Yes, Rajesh ji, namaskar, pranam.
Sorry, what was the question?
Can you please introduce yourself? We are meeting after a very long time. Probably would have forgotten each other.
My name is Rajesh, and I'm from Bhubaneswar, Orissa, and I'm proud to be friend of all of you, especially Narendra Bhai. We connect every day on WhatsApp, and occasionally we speak. And Chandrasekhar Bhai, I know how many lines are there on your palm.
So nice of you. Thank you so much. May I request Ajit Kumar ji to introduce himself?
Hello,
Namaskar, sir. Welcome. Please introduce yourself.
my name is Ajit Kumar. I'm a sales trainer cum coach. I'm based out of Chennai. I am
Great,
also
sir.
into NLP and hypnosis.
Very nice to know about it, sir. Welcome to this today's evening program. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
a lot of things we can learn from Narendra Naik's experience of book reading. Thank you and
100%.
welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. May I request Kamlesh ji, Shivani ji, and the other who have not introduced themselves to please come online and say a few words. It would be easy. It will make everybody comfortable to talk to each other and to know about each other. Just like reading a book, if we introduce ourselves, we will know what we are, at with whom we are talking.
Thanks, team. Let me go first. So, my name is Rahul, and I'm based out of Bangalore. So, actually, I got to know about this group from a WhatsApp group which I am part of. That is Read, Review, and Recreate. I'm not sure who has posted it, and this is my first. This is my first instance where I am. Looking for this book review called Skill People. So looking forward for all the great people to interact with.
Thank you and a warm welcome, Rahul ji,
Sure,
for this
thanks.
program.
Yeah.
Kamlesh ji.
Yeah, I volunteered
Yes, you have done,
myself.
sir.
I'm
You have done. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Shivani. Janat, welcome for this program today, book reading. Could you just say a few words about yourself?
Sure, sir. Good evening, sir. It's a delight to be a part of Amplify Book Club. I am Janet Anthony. I am from Pune. I am a corporate trainer. I also am an IT recruiter. And I, of course, love reading books, and gives me immense delight and pleasure to be able to listen to the inputs that you get from the panel here when they're sharing about the books. So thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you and warm welcome for today evening's book review. I'm sure we will all be learning a lot. And you can also give your concurrence to review a book, any book which
Absolutely.
you would like, or request to all the members present here. They can also review a book which they like, and also motivate everyone present in the platform to start reading books. As I earlier said, reading a book is a very good habit. If you make book as your friend, you will not get disappointed. You will only gain. Now we are on 7:10 and I think we will start the program for today. Before that, let me just introduce you or myself to you all. My name is Chandrasekhar, and I am into manufacturing process enhancement training. I work with Mr. P.S. Satish, who is also here, and that is about my this thing. For Amplify, I am one of the oldest member. We with Khussaal Jain ji, Rajesh Raut, and all other IITians been part of it. For a long time, I was not visible on this platform. Today again I have joined, and thanks Khussaal Jain ji for this. Now going to the speaker, our today's speaker is an ex-serviceman. When I say ex-serviceman, it is like that he would have come across lots of people, lots and lots of people, and he would have studied them, how everyone behaves in a particular situation. He has not only did service to the nation, he has also worked in many corporate sectors, many roles he has done, and he has contributed throughout his professional career great to his field. May I request you all to put your hands together and welcome Sri Narendra Naik ji for today's book review. He is talking about skill of people. Mr. Narendra Naik will be talking about skill of people. Over to you, Narendra Naik ji.
Thank you, Chandru. Thanks for your lovely introduction. Let us imagine we are in a thick jungle, very thick forest, say in African jungle, Africa. And let me assure you that all hunting animals, they have taken leave today, and you are free to roam around in the forest, just observing the beauty. It is a thick forest with lots of trees. I want you to just imagine what I am speaking. You observe a lot of trees, is it not? One is small, one is tall, one is fat, one is lean, one is very... and no two trees are similar. Each tree is different. Some are straight, some are teda-meda like, some are weak, some leaves are very big, some leaves are very small. When you see all this, what will come to your mind? You will be thinking how different each tree is, how Creator has created so many different varieties of plants and trees. But you never complain. Why this tree is small? Why this tree is fat? You will have no complaint because you know that Creator is creating different things in different ways. Now let us come back to our places and look at the people in our life. Just like those trees, all people in our life, they are different. Additional thing is their behavioral traits. Each person is a different. No two persons are similar. But we all have to gel together. Man is a social animal, so we need people. Especially the elite group here, most of us are trainers, coaches, and we are in a exposed to social life where we need people. As Chandru said, I am an ex-serviceman. Yes, I have come across lots and lots of people. Every 2 years, we used to get transfers. We used to go to different ship. I was in Navy, so we used to go to different ship or different establishments where people used to be different. I started my career in Kerala, then served in Mumbai. Then majority of my service served in Gujarat. As you all know, the Indians, we are different in different provinces, different states. So like that, I came across different people. Apart from that, wherever I went, people used to be from the different states, used to be there in that bases or ships. More than studying them and understanding them, I had a lot of problems with them. Because I was not, that time when I was 18, 20, I was not good at reading people or anything. So I used to have a lot of problems with people. Those 10 years I served, and then I came out. Then even 22 years I served in a public sector called HMT, Watch Factory. There also I came across lots and 2,000 people, I think. So otherwise also, in our life, from the childhood, when we go to school, we'll have a lot of friends. When we work, when we go to college, when we go to work, we will have lots and lots of people. And we all had problem with people, is it not? Is there anyone in the audience who didn't have any problem with people? I don't think so. I will not wait for the answer because I know everyone. If not with anybody, at least with our spouses, we had problem. With our children, we had a problem. We always complained that children didn't understand us. And nobody understands me. These type of complaints we have been listening. In my 72 years, I kept on listening to these complaints. Somewhere after my retirement, I think, or before just retirement, I came across a network marketing organization where I came across this book called Skill with People, not Skill of People, Skill with People. It is written by Les Giblin. That book, as it is, it wouldn't have created any impact on me. I came across a person who was very, very, very successful in that network marketing organization. And he promoted this book in one of his tapes. I was listening to his tape. I was very fond of him. And he said he read this book daily for 1 year. Every day, whether it is 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whether he is feeling sleepy or not, even not to disturb his wife who is sleeping, he used to just stand at the window and from the street light, he used to read and then sleep. He was so committed, he read that book. And he said, my main success is because I became good at people. I was not, but I became good at people. That opened my mind. Yes, if you understand people, if you know how to deal and how to interact with people, how to impress people, you will be successful. Because alone we cannot achieve anything. So we need people to support us. When people will support, when they like us. So how to make them like us is the skill with people. I'll just take you through this book. which is a very, very small book. Let me show you. It is in the flyer also. This is the book, a very small book, and it is having about 47 pages. 7 pages are only, you can say 40 pages of knowledge. And there are 15, 16 small chapters, like 1.5 page, 1 page, like that. And all the things are not very special things. It is known thing. We know it, but we don't value it or we don't practice it. When I went through the tape, then I decided that I will read this book daily. It was in 2001, I think. I read this book daily for 6 months. Yes, it impacted me very well. You may be thinking that I became a master of this skill. No. Even after reading that, there is human tendency inbuilt by God, which it is very difficult to change. I'll come when I go through the book. So it is very difficult. Even now, I don't claim that I am master of this book. No, I am just a learner again. But whenever I speak with people, this book comes to my mind. Whenever somebody is boasting about themselves or talking about themselves, then I know this is human trait. It is not a weakness, it is human trait. I can understand that. But when it comes to myself, I try to follow this book. Now, without wasting much time, let me take you through this book. In the first, this one, starting of the book, he takes us through the 3 insights of human beings, human insights. Let me share this. Do I have permission to share the screen, Chandru?
Yes, sir, you can share.
Thank you. I called it, and it is not in the book, but I called it a creator's gift, because when we understand I don't call it techniques, the God's given gift it is. So it will help us to understand people well. Now let us go through the insights. First insight is about learning. How we learn is first, it is through sight, then it is through hearing. But you observe the percentage, how much we learn through each senses of 5 senses of ours. 83 by sight. Through hearing, we learn 11%. And then through smell, we hear 3.5%. Through touch, we learn about 1.5%. And last, through taste, it is 1%. This is the first. Then next, what he takes you through is how we retain information. This is we get information. Then how we retain the information. He takes us through first is what we read. That is, by reading what we gain information, we retain it 10%. Then what we hear, we retain it about 20%. Then what we see, that we retain about 30%. Then of what we see and hear, we retain 50%. What we say as we talk, that we will retain about 70%. And what we say as we do a thing, we retain about 90%. Then the third insight, what it takes through is how long we retain this information, what we get. Just by telling, suppose, imagine that these slides I was not showing you and I was just telling you. You would recall after 3 hours, you would recall about 70%. After 3 days, you would recall only 10%. Let me take you through. This is the table. By only telling, you will recall after 3 hours 70% and then 3 days about 10%. Only showing, suppose if I had shown only the slides, the information you gather, you can recall about 72% after 3 hours and 20% after 3 days. But when I tell and show, as we are doing now, this information, you can recall 85% after 3 hours and 65% after 3 days. That is the reason most of the trainers use audio and visual, both, just to make sure that the audience will keep the information for the longer duration. This is the insight he talks about. Now, let us go to understanding people. This first chapter, it really, it rings in my mind always. The wordings he says, and whenever I said the basic thing of this chapter, people opposed. People got angry. People shouted on me. They told, what the hell you are talking? I am not like that. I am telling that it is not, it is an inbuilt. God has created us like that. So there is nothing to feel offended about this trait. Now let me tell you what it is. One thing I ask people to engrave this in their mind permanently so that they will never forget. This is the trait. People are interested in themselves, not in you. People, basically, they are interested in themselves, not in you. Vice versa, in another way, you are interested in yourself, not in anybody else. When I said this, one of my friend, he got annoyed and he said, what the hell you talk? I help people financially and I spend my time and everything and I help people. Do you think I am interested in myself? If I want to help somebody to achieve something, am I not helping him? My interest is that he should be helped. He shouted and argued with me. I just kept quiet. Then after a while, I told, cool down. You are doing it. You are giving money. But the help you are doing, that comes second. The first thing why you are doing it, that is because you feel satisfied. You feel proud that you are able to help. That feeling comes first. Then comes the second thing, helping. Even when we pay 1 rupee, 2 rupees to a beggar, we think that we are helping. But that pride and satisfaction, what we get is the basic thing we are looking for. Everybody is interested in themselves, not in you. You are interested in yourself, not in anybody else. If this is a universal thing with all human beings, irrespective of any gender or anything, all human beings are of this nature. Now, how we can make use of this as a gateway to enter somebody's heart? The same trait that he speaks in the first chapter. It is a key of life for you to realize that people are primarily interested in themselves, not in you. The same trait, you can take it further and develop and enter into anybody's heart. How? In the second chapter, he talks about, I have called it, art of this chapter. How to skillfully talk to people is by Giblin, but I have used it as art of skillfully talking to people. I feel this is an art. Once somebody learns this art, life becomes very, very easy. Very easy. Now, let me take you through. People are interested in themselves, not in you. This is the gateway to other people's heart. Now, how to skillfully talk to people? This is also second important chapter in this book. If we need to, every one of us, we need to practice this to have a great success with people. Here he says, get rid of four words. Get rid of it. Erase it. What are those words? One is I, one is me, one is my, and fourth one is mine. I, me, my, mine. Remove this word from your vocabulary. For those four words, substitute the most powerful word spoken by the human tongue. Can I have a response from the esteemed audience? Can you guess which is this word?
We.
Okay. Anything else?
Or you.
Yes, you're right. You're right. That word is you. Because in the earlier chapter, we came to know that everybody is interested in themselves. The person with whom we are talking are interested in themselves, not in you. So if you go on talking about yourself, do you think the other person will be interested to listen? I don't think. So how to get him interested in you is by talking about them. You can ask so many questions. How is your family, John? How is your son who is studying in that engineering college? Did you hear from your daughter who recently went to America and settled there? You are opening the gate for him to talk about himself because he is interested in himself, not in you. And when that thirst is quenched, when he is happy, his mind will open to you. And there is a thin line between this using the skill and manipulation. When it is done deliberately for my own use, to use those people, then it is a manipulation that it will be easily identified and that person will not be interested in it. That is one part. But this one I am talking wholeheartedly. If you show interest in the other person and ask questions and always talk about you, use the word. Once you remove this I, me, my, mine, there is no chance that you will talk about yourself. So this is the second chapter where he says how to skillfully talk. Then next comes how to make people feel important. See, it is a human tendency, human trait to feel important. This, if you closely observe in a group or something, people will be wanting to make their presence felt. They want people to identify. They want people to give importance to them. This is the trait. How to develop it? We know that a very human being is interested in feeling important. How to make them feel important? Sincerely, when you want people to be impressed with you, you have to make them feel important. Then how you do it? Most difficult thing to do, listening to them. I am given to understand that there are about 85 to 90% of the people who want to talk. There are only 10% who are effective listeners. People listen to talk, just to talk, they will wait for the opportunity. As soon as the opponent person stops, he will start talking. That is not listening. So what he says is, if you want to make people feel important, you listen to them. Bite your tongue, they say. Zip your lips, they say. So bite your tongue as the opposite person is talking. Don't talk, just listen to him. Then applaud and compliment them. When people are talking about something, applauding is not that after he speaks something and you clap and say, no, that not only that, you can even applaud. You can say the suit you are wearing is beautiful. Where do you take the haircut? Your hairstyle is fantastic. This is also an applauding. He feels, important here. Just you ask, your suit is beautiful. He will tell the story from the shop where he bought the cloth, where he got it stitched, who was the tailor, and he will talk so much and he feels very satisfied because he was made to feel important. Then what is it? Use their name and picture. I heard in one of the, I read in a book. They say our name is the beautiful song we would like to hear. We would love to hear our name. So if you want to make person feel important, use their name. Even when you are applauding, Chandrasekhar, your spectacles is super, yeah. Where did you buy that? But if you just say your spectacle is beautiful because you are only with we are only two, Chandrasekhar is there, he knows that I'm talking about him. What is the use of taking his name? It looks very absurd. So I will say that your spectacle is fantastic. No, he wants to hear his name. Take their name and then use their personality as a picture to explain anything. That day, the lecture you gave, yeah, it was fantastic. Chandrasekhar, you are a great speaker. That creates, he will be open-hearted, open to you. Then pause before you answer. What is this pause will do in making the other person feel important? When you don't jump and answer, when you take little time and answer his question, he will feel that whatever I said was of importance. That's why that person is taking little time to think it over and then speak. He is taking real interest in what I'm telling. That interest you have created in him. Next, again, use their words. You, your quote is good. You are so patient. You speak like this. You are doing like this. You, all the way, you and your will help him to feel important. Then acknowledge people waiting for you. Suppose when you are in a group, when you come, acknowledge if somebody is waiting. If you come late, you acknowledge and apologize so that they feel important. They will feel, they are irritated because you are late, you are not come. They are irritated and their mindset is in different. This. When you go and say, sorry, I got late because of this. So acknowledge those people, they will feel important. Then comes the very difficult thing, how to agree with people. How to agree with people. Forgetting everything about ourselves because we have forgotten I, me, my mind. So we are interested in the other person. First, we will have to decide to agree. Be agreeable to agree with people. Say you will not oppose. You decide in your mind. Learn to be agreeable to agree with people. Then tell people you agree with them. Don't assume that he knows I agree with him because I nodded my head like this. He knows that I agree. But still, when you tell people you agree with them, yes, whatever you said makes sense, I agree with you. That gives the confidence to him. Unless it is very necessary, don't tell people you disagree. Anywhere, for a small thing, even if you are disagreeable, you disagree with what people are telling, you can just keep quiet. Only if it is very necessary and it is making a huge difference, then you can say, no, politely you can say, I don't agree with this. I feel this is okay like this. Otherwise, majority of times, don't disagree. Don't tell you are not agreeable. Third thing is, you admit when you are wrong. You tell, yes, I agree that I was wrong. I agree with you. Whatever you said is right. I am wrong. Biggest thing is not to argue. If you argue with people, you may win an argument, but you will lose a friend. Dale Carnegie, in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, this is the best advice he gives. Never argue with the people. Even if you don't agree, just keep quiet. Don't argue. By arguing, you may win an argument, but you will lose a friend. Then handle, one minute. Handle the fighters properly. When you are in charge and you are speaking or something, handle the fighters properly. What is the best way to handle the fighters? Can I have some clue? Anybody? How to handle the fighters? We are in a class, we are training, somebody is hell-bent upon fighting with what we said and argued. How to handle these fighters?
Try to listen to them.
Yeah. Yes, listening to them is one thing. Fighters.
No, we are wrong. We have to accept our mistake.
If we are wrong.
Yeah, though we are wrong.
Yeah.
Right and wrong, that is different case. Though we are right, we have to accept I am wrong. You are only right.
Yeah. You are right on the. You are right on the point.
Later the person realize and they say, okay.
Yes, exactly. Best thing to fight a fighter is not to fight. Not to fight at all. Even if you are right, don't fight. They will realize later. But best thing to fight a fighter is not to fight at all. Decide in your mind that you will not fight, you will not argue. That's all. That is the best way to. If you don't want to fight, with whom you will fight? That is the best way. One minute. My screen is not moving.
What happened, Narendra sir?
It is the screen is not moving. Now it's moving. Now next comes art of listening. That's what we were talking, the most difficult thing to do. But there is an art. If you learn this art and practice it, people will love you. Now, how the art? What is the art? What is the first point? The person whom you want to listen is worth looking at also. So look at the person who is talking. Eye to eye. Look at him. Then lean towards him. Lean toward the speaker. If it is a close group like this in the screen, what you are saying, just lean toward the speaker, and it indicates that you are showing more interest to listen to him. Then ask questions. What it will prove? It will prove that you are listening. You are listening, that's why you could ask questions. Stick to the speaker subject, don't interrupt. Don't interrupt his speech. If you interrupt, he will feel he is insulted. You are asking him to stop. So don't interrupt. But when there is an opportunity, you ask questions regarding the subject he is speaking. Don't deviate the subject. He is talking about something and you are asking something. It should not be. Then use the speaker words again. You and your. As you said, I got this little doubt. Will you please clarify me? This type of questions and interaction will prove that you are listening. This is the art of listening. Then art of influencing and convincing people. Two things actually, influencing and convincing. Now, how you will influence when we get an opportunity as a trainer, we go for negotiation, we go for discussion to study the need-based analysis and so many things we interact with clients. How to influence? Just by asking questions, find out what they want, what they like. Then tell them what they want to hear. You may be good at 1,000 things, but he may be interested in things which is important to him. So you have to talk about what they want to hear, not what you are expert at. Now, show them that they will get what they want by doing what you want them to do. In one of book, I think it is on selling, Zig Ziglar says about the leadership. What he says is, leadership is making people do what you want them to do. Not because you are telling them to do, they want to do. Making them want to do. That is the true leadership. That's what he says. It is showing them that they will get what they want by doing what you want them to do. Once they realize that by going through with you, if they are going to get what they want, will they not cooperate and get influenced? Definitely. Then convincing people, when it comes to convincing people, actually it is another chapter. I could get only one point, so I have joined these two traits together, two chapters together. Convincing people is always speak through third person. It is a human tendency that if I say that I did like this, I did like that, I gave this presentation, I did like this, people were like this, people appreciated me, that thing, this thing. When I tell about myself, it creates a doubt in the people and they won't believe what you're telling. But the same thing is told through third person. Even though I have done it, let me say, one of my friend trainer is there. He was talking to a college students like this, and he could get such an applaud for these points he told like this. Even though that third person is not there, it is an imaginary. The people who are listening to you will believe that third person. But even if you say directly from I did like this, they will not believe. So when it comes to convincing, always talk about third person. Let me give you one, this one. Give me 1 minute. See, for example, he says, let me quote the same example because I didn't get any example from my side. If you are applying for a position and the prospective employer wondered if you could do the work, you would mention how well pleased your past employers have been. See, when he's doubtful, when the applicant says, my past employer was very much pleased with me, he will believe that past employer what he said. But if he says, I will do this, he will not believe. That's what I meant. Then next chapter, he talks about art of making people's mind. How to change people's mind. People will come with a different mindset. How to change it? When you explain something, you give reasons to say yes to you. Ask yes questions. For questions, only yes is the answer. You want to have a good life. Is it not? What will be your answer? No? It will be yes. You want a good education. What will be your answer? Yes. Like that, all yes questions you can ask. And give people choice between two yeses. Give choice between two yeses. For example, I want to meet Chandrasekhar tomorrow. I want to meet him. That's all. So I will ask Chandrasekhar, Chandrasekhar, when I can meet you, morning or evening? Whatever he selects, he is going to meet me. That is the skillful use of paraphrasing. No. When we ask people, we get choice. Can we meet tomorrow? He will say no. I don't want to hear a no. So best thing is, I ask the question such a way, he will select morning or evening, but he is going to meet me tomorrow. This is the art part. Now, expect them to say yes to you and let them know. You see, now same question, if I know he has to say yes, and he knows he has to say yes morning or evening. So you expect that he should say yes, and he should know that he is expected to say yes. An art of setting people's mood. When we were in network business, that time we were told, when you cross somebody, a stranger, when you look, before crossing, when you look into his face, he will be, the moment he looks at you, just smile. That opens the conversation. I tried this and really I was embarrassed. First day I went out and I tried, I just smiled at one person was buying something in Nilgiris. I went there to prospect actually. So I just smiled at him. He said, oh, what is that? Why you are smiling? Then I got afraid and I couldn't speak further. That was my first experience of my smile. But with anybody, if you smile, it opens the conversation. First few seconds, not that afterwards. First, as soon as your eyes meet, you just smile. Give us. Then you open. That somehow the conversation opens up. That also I experienced. Then people became my best friends after that. People react in kind. If you smile, another person will also smile. Now, the poster, what you saw in this child laughing, as soon as you saw that, unknowingly, didn't you smile? We react in kind. By smiling, you can open a relationship, you can open a conversation, open a friendship. This is the best way to make friends. This is the best skill. Then art of praising people. How to praise a person? First and basic thing is it should be sincere. Praise must be very sincere. Otherwise, it becomes a joke. Manipulation. Praise should not be to manipulate or use people. Praise wholeheartedly without expecting anything. Praise the act, not the person. You may not praise the person, but you praise the act. You played well. You sang well. You are praising the singing by a person. So, praise the act, not the person. Then comes art of criticizing people. We will have a lot, to criticize people. We do it. Most of the managerial staffs, supervisory staffs, they don't have this art of criticizing, and they make a mess of their life. Like the poster you see, everybody is criticizing one person, shouting, and that is not the way actually. The criticism should be done privately, personally, in a closed chamber. And how to criticize? Start with a kind word. They call it sandwich principle. First you praise, then you criticize, then you put another layer of appreciation, let the person feel comfortable, and then leave. Criticism should be between two praises. So start with a kind word of compliment, then you criticize. Criticize the act, not the person. What you did is wrong. Don't say that you are wrong. The act only you criticize, not the person. Then what? Then don't go on opening the Pandora box of his mistakes and start criticizing everything. But criticize the one criticism for one, this one that comes next. Provide answers, not only criticizing. If something what the other person did is wrong, you give the right thing. That will reduce the friction. Then ask for cooperation, don't demand it. Then, as I said, one critic per one offense. Not go on criticizing. Just do this polite criticism and then close it. By that, you will win over people. Finish the criticism with a friendly note. At the end, when you leave the room, you are friends. That much relation you have to build and then leave. Then last comes his art of thanking people. How to thank people? As you see in the poster, shake hand. That's all. No. There is a system of thanking people. Even the shake hand also, there is a system that how the hand should be shook. With male to male, male to female, even the holding of hand, even your personality is displayed how you shake hand. The people who squeeze the other person's hand hard are supposed as no self-esteem. Those people will squeeze the hand as if your hand will break. Or somebody will keep on shaking hand. It all shows the different personalities, but I'm not talking about that. But I'm just how to thank intentions. That's what I am going to, he is explaining in this chapter. Say thanks and mean it. When you say thanks, you mean from your heart. Don't make it a routine. Mean. Then thank. Then say it clearly and distinctively, again using the name. Say clearly, thank you very, very much, Chandrasekhar. Thank you very, very much. Now, next thing is, when you are personally thanking somebody, look at the person you are thanking. A person who is worth thanking is also worth looking at. So you look at him and thank people by their name. Again, don't say just thank you. They will not feel important. So you say, thank you, Chandrasekhar. Thank you, Khussaal Jain, for providing this platform. When you thank by their name, that thank you appears into their heart and it will stay there. These are all the chapters Then comes the good impression making. How to make a good impression? First thing is be sincere to create an impression. Show enthusiasm. Do not be over anxious, over excited. Anything done over will not go long. So do not build yourself by running other person down. Don't in the quest of making good impression, don't put other people down. Do not knock anybody or anything. That is an art of making a talk. This is the last chapter because we all are interested in speaking. You must have come across so many people. Just ask them one question. That is the end of it. You can go to sleep. They will keep on talking. Continuously they will talk without even caring whether the other person is listening or not. So making a talk is also an art. So what he says is, before you start talking, you make sure know what is that you want to talk, what is that you want to say. Just sit down after saying. After your talk, just quit. And when you are talking for that short period, look at the audience. Look at the audience. Each, and if there is a mass, then you cannot look into each and every person's eyes. But even in our training in IITD, we are taught how to make your posture, looking at left, right, center, back, front, like that. But when in a small crowd or when you're talking to one person, look at the audience who are listening. Talk what audience are interested in. Again, when you have removed I, me, my mind, then only thing left is you have to talk about you are to the audience. Talk what the audience are interested in, and they are interested in themselves. talk about them. Do not make a speech. When you are asked to talk, just talk. Don't make it a lengthy speech. These are all the 15 chapters he explains. And this book is only 40 pages of write-up. You can read every day. I urge all the audience here to read this book repeatedly, till you master it. You keep on reading it. Because you all are in a social atmosphere where you need people. And by practicing these techniques and skill, your trainer's life or coach's life, or even your social life, family life, business life, overall, your life will be very, very pleasant and happy life you can have. By sharing this book, I am passionate about this book. This is third time I think I am sharing this book in a book review meeting, and this is the longest I shared, because I used to get about half an hour like that. I used to run through the book. Today I had an opportunity to go through deep into this book and express my views about this book. Even though this is a small book which costs only 50 rupees, this can change people's life. Hoping that this knowledge and this book will change your life, I close my talk. Namaste. Have a wonderful, happy, good skill with people life. Thank you. For anybody who wants to contact me or mail me or have my contact, this is my contact. You can interact with me. Thank you. If you have noted down, I will close the sharing.
Thank you very much, Narendra Naik ji. I think you did a great justice to both the author as well as the book. It was one of the in-depth analysis what you gave us today. And it also, I am sure, opened up many ideas as to what we have to do with the skills, or how we have to address the other person so that we are able to communicate. Basically, skill with people is how better way you can communicate and you can get a positive response. Yes, now I open the whole forum. Anybody who is interested to ask any questions to Sri Narendra Naik ji, may please do so. Anyone?
Hello, Naik ji. I don't have a question, but I want to add something what you said.
Please, sir.
Unlike hard skill, soft skill is what works with one person will not work with another person. So there is always a challenge for us to when you deal with people, the formula which I have worked from my experience, what has worked with one person, it doesn't work with another person. So that means there is always, you have to keep on experimenting what you said, to keep on experiment to learn and master, and it's a work in progress always. What
Satish sir, you are right. You are right. There are 7.5 billion people.
Yes.
There are 7.5 billion mind.
So many machines.
No two minds are similar. Each one will have his own background, his own tendencies, personalities. Actually, I was fascinated even about personalities also. I Initially, I wanted to have a training program on personalities. Different personalities behave different way. Yes, you are right. We cannot have a thumb rule but these are the basic human traits. If we tap into this, we can penetrate majority of the people. It is not a thumb rule that every time it will work. It may not work. Yes, definitely. We may have to change. How we can change is by listening to them. If we cultivate the listening habit, they will expose their areas where we can enter and make them feel important, or we can break the ice. We can do that. These are all the basics only. These are all guidelines. Thank you, sir, for your views.
Anybody else want to have a question?
Yeah, for me. Question.
Kalpana ji, yes, please.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Narendra ji, for the amazing sessions. Today I got a lot of insights, like being a trainer also. This is going to help me in my professional as well as the personal life also. Now, many a times I've seen also that suppose if you dislike a person, take my example only. Suppose if I don't dislike a person, I don't look into the eyes. Then the other person also comes to know, like, exactly. I say what I want to say, but that means I'm ignoring, right? So, but while as you like in the whatever you explained, that while talking to a person, you have to look into the eyes. So this I'm going to use in my while training also, and in my personal may whatsoever, but I should be right, or from my side I should be perfect. Right? Whatever the other person thinks about me, I think that is keeping aside. If you're talking, then you have to talk it full-fledged, looking into the eyes of that person. You should give that much importance if you're talking to that person, right? And thank you so much. I'm really very, very impressed, and I would really miss such a wonderful session today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kalpana ji, for your appreciation. But whatever you said, if you don't like a person, you don't look into his eyes. Say, what I request you is, dislike the person's act or his views. Okay. Don't dislike the person.
Right.
So, if you don't dislike the person, there is no harm in looking into his eyes. You may not agree with whatever he is telling, or if you want to make an impression from whatever you are telling, by looking into his eyes, he feels important.
Right.
So, whether you agree with him or not, look into his eyes.
Okay.
Person is different, views are different. You may not like it, but don't dislike the person because he is having that view.
Right.
That is my request.
Yeah. Thank you. I got it.
Thank you.
We have one more question from Nageshwar Rao ji. Mr. Nageshwar Rao, you can ask your question, please.
Yes, sir. Namaste.
Namaste, sir.
This is a question to sir. Thank you, sir, for the good session. How and what way first time you were impressed by this book and this kind of experiential learning?
Yes, sir.
How you got impacted? Yes, you can share your
that's what I shared. Actually, you were not there, I think. So let me share again. I was in a network marketing business.
I was there. But no,
I was new in
briefly. Sir? 2 minutes, 1 minute.
Sir?
Nothing, sir. Continue, please. Continue.
So one of my senior, he is a civil engineer from Australia, who read this book for 1 year every day, just to make it as an affirmation. So he read 1 year and he cultivated each and everything what Les Giblin has told in this book, and he practiced it, he implemented it, and could build a huge network of million people. He impacted life of million people, and he himself became multi-millionaire. So I got impressed with whatever experience he had and his narration about the book and other things. Then I liked it, and then I read it for 6 months, every day, without fail, I read it. So as I went through and my work life, I worked for 43 years and last stage of my life, about 15 years after this book, I had a very, very wonderful life. I reached a responsible position also. I was a facility manager in a private builder company. And I used to interact with the clients and interact with my boss.
Yes.
And I always found my own managerial staff were not acquainted with this knowledge. I taught my colleagues and my bosses, they didn't have any people skill this one. So I used to, instead of earlier for 20, 30 years, I used to have fight with them. But later, last 15 years, I could understand their weaknesses and gel with them and still serve 15 years and do some achievements for the organization for which I was working. Otherwise, I used to make achievements, but I was always treated like a villain. I was told he is the best, he is the worst troublemaker. So people used to curse me. So when I came across this book and afterwards what I learned, really my life improved. That much I can say. Thank you, sir.
One experience at home also.
Sir?
One experience at your home. One more experience of your home, at your home.
Home, I have a better, in my home, I cannot, because my wife is so accommodative. She tolerates all my short tempers and other weaknesses of mine. So it is more people's skill with people, because she was also in that business and she also read this book. So she implemented it very nicely with me. So in my home, I have a wonderful life. I have got a wonderful wife. My children also, they be seeing me reading books. They also started reading books and they practiced. And wherever I miss, they used to point out to me that after reading also, you act like this. So then they used to correct me. So in my house also, I have very knowledgeable people, in my wife and my children. I enjoy that. I have a very good life at home because of this book. That much I can say.
Yes, thank you very much. And I have a message here.
Thank you very
would
much.
like to read.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Mr. Satish has said, if anybody interested to review my book, knowing is not same as doing it. Yes, sir, we would definitely be like to get that book review, and also I would personally recommend people to read that book. Maybe we will connect with you, and in the next session we can plan for your things. Thank you very much, Mr. Satish sir, for volunteering it. Yes, any more questions, or may I call upon the stage our platform leader, Sri Khussaal Jain ji, to say a few words. Over to you, Mr. Khussaal Jain.
I think Nagananda wanted to say something.
Mr. Naganand, you want to say something?
No, sir. Is it possible to get these slides by any chance, or is it all
that is no, I don't think so. It is left to that. You can contact in person with Mr. Narendra Naik.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so for regarding the slides, actually the trainers' slides would not be shared with anyone. Okay, recordings are available. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook. We have made all the sessions live. Okay, so it has been streamed to more than 1 lakh people. Okay, so various groups, more than around 50 groups, it has been already shared. Okay, live streaming. So maybe you can watch the recordings again and again. That would be better. Okay. Thank you. And I also want to thank Chandrasekhar for managing the whole meeting. Okay. And thank you, Narendra Naik, for coming forward, sharing your knowledge, sharing your wisdom. Amazing thing. Okay. So actually, I'm just today working in a backend. So our front leader is Chandrasekhar, who's going to manage, and maybe close the vote of thanks also I would ask him to do that. And yes, thank you everyone who are watching on Facebook, YouTube Live, everywhere. I would like to really thank you for participating and watching the recording. So I still recommend this. Please share it with your friends and families so that this message, what Mr. Narendra Naik has put all his efforts in putting all those content in the slides. So let it go to all the people. Let them, everyone learn it. Okay, this is what we are calling is sharing is more important. Okay, the Narendra Naik, who has more than 40 years or 50 years of experience, and he is sharing his knowledge for 1.5 hours now. So I want you to spread this word. That's what I would say. So thank you, everyone. So again, I hand over to Chandrasekhar. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Khussaal Jain ji. And Rajesh Raut, any few words for the club members?
Yeah, it was a treat on a Saturday. Knowing Narendra Bhai is more important than he reading that book and practicing. And because whenever I've interacted with him, I have learned more than what book has taught him. So basically, he has learned from the book and he has put that into practice. And I have always found wisdom every time interacting, whether it be physical or virtual. And the session was no different from that. So thank you, Narendra Bhai, for the wonderful session. I'm sure you have enlightened many of us. I saw people taking pictures of the slides. Slides were also made very beautifully, very thoughtfully, and please the eyes as far as color composition and other things are concerned. So, I'm a big fan of yours, Narendra Bhai. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rajesh Bhai. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chandru, I will take 1 more minute, please.
Yeah, please.
I will just take 1 minute. Otherwise, I will be doing injustice. So, people like the presentation. I am very happy about it. People like the slides and my deck. That also given me a lot of satisfaction, but I can't claim all the credit to myself. I want to thank a million times my friend Chandrasekhar, who is always, who stands next to me in creating this PPTs, because only one drawback I have is I am technically zero. With great difficulty, after doing 2 trainer programs, I am able to switch on the laptop, switch on the Zoom, enter into a meeting, speak, scroll and take the presentation. That much I have learned. That's all. Not preparing it. It is all Chandrasekhar sir's effort to make this presentation very, very effective. Thank you, Chandru. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. But the content, everything, the final approval, all are yours. I'm just a brush in your hand.
Thank you.
So with this, I think I'll bring the today's program to an end. May I request all the book club member, Amplify book club members, to please come forward and review your book. Mr. Satish sir, Mr. Khussaal Jain will be in touch with you and we will finalize a date for a book review from your end. Similar way.
No, I want somebody else to review my book. Or if you want me to review some other book.
Yes, sir. It will be better if you review, sir.
No, somebody else has to review that. Okay.
Yeah.
That is it.
So you want to follow the third person rule.
Third person rule.
Okay. So Satish, what we will be doing is, okay, as you're an author already and you have published a book, so there would be a separate session where we'll be inviting the authors and we'll do like an interview kind of session where you can talk about your book and the little bit content of it.
That would be wonderful. Okay.
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, then. Thank you all.
And thank you everyone for joining today, taking your time. We are at 8:30 and I would not like to take more of your time. Enjoy the weekend and be safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chandrasekhar ji, and thank you, Narendra ji.
Namaskar. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much.
After a long time.
Thank you.
Bye.
I truly enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And it
Bye,
is a great
everybody.
pleasure to hear Narendra ji and you,
Thank you.
Chandrasekhar ji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.